how to use Facebook Debugger. It's something that we use a lot. What Debugger does is if you have Facebook, like something that Facebook is pulling, like if you put a link over on Facebook and the data that it's bringing over isn't good, then what you use is Debugger to kind of debug the system. This is something that will be necessary. Sometimes Facebook just goes crazy and you have to do it to everything. It's just pulling the wrong information over. And sometimes it's when you make a change on your site, like you change out the Facebook photo. We use Yoast to override that photo. So that's what I did on this post yesterday is I changed the Facebook photo so that I can make this video. If you have like serious caching on your site, like we do on Kids Activities blog, you need to know kind of the timeline of that caching. And you would have worked with someone probably to create that caching situation. And it's generally when high traffic sites. So if you have caching in place, like we have a 30-minute cache, so we can't use Debugger within that 30 minutes because it will show Facebook the original post, if that makes sense. So if like you do Debugger over and over and over again and it's not working, it may be a caching issue. Sometimes it's just because Debugger's not working. All right, so I find Debugger with a very, very difficult situation. I put, yeah, Facebook Debugger. I Google it, and I've been Googling this, sharing Debugger, Facebook for developers. That's what it is. Yeah, so every time I Google it. Okay, so this is the URL of the post that we need to debug. And so I just put that in there and then debug. What I also love about Debugger is that it will give you this information. Oh my goodness. The interesting thing is that isn't even the original. That's not even close to the original one. Okay, so this is the information that Google knows about this, and this is normally would pull the previous photo. Who knows what's happening here? So we're going to scrape it again. And there we go. Okay, so that happened way faster and easier than it oftentimes will happen. Sometimes I have to hit that scrape again button several times, like maybe 5 times, okay? If you get to the point where you've hit it like 10 times and it's still not doing anything, it may be a site issue, a caching issue. Come back and try again later kind of thing, okay? So this is the Facebook image that I updated. And then what's really cool about this too, you guys, is if you just look and see, this is what the information that Google like basically stores on behalf of this URL. So you can sometimes they'll have some information here. You're like, oh, I didn't even know Google knew that about there. So and oh, like here it is. Like it shows the history, 1 likes, 1 share, comments, and this is a very old post on Kids Activities blog that hasn't been shared in a while, which is why I updated the image. Okay, so that's basically how to use Debugger, and once you have gone through this, this is what will show up on Facebook once you put that image up again.